Hello, everybody. This is Grace on a Journey, and you are listening to Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to the newcomer and to those of you returning, my fellow travelers. Welcome back. We're happy to have you. First off, I want to start by saying I believe today's episode is going to be quite interesting. It's one of those episodes that if I saw it on my feed, I would click on it because I love history, and the title gives it away and informs us that it definitely may have something to do with history. Today's title is Unity is Power. Unity is Power. Now, those are famous words, especially those of you that know a bit of Haitian history. Now, I had some hesitation, right? Because I don't believe in half-truths. Half-truths are not true. In order to be in the energy of truth, you have to share what you want to share, and you have to share your reservations. Honestly, when this subject area was brought to my attention by my spirit team, how should I put this? I wasn't jumping up for joy. I wasn't jumping up for joy. And it's because of this season in my life. I believe if it was earlier in life, I wouldn't feel that way. But it's this season, you know. And the confusion that I have been faced with is very recent. Some of it is still into effect, right? But I'm obedient. And I know that if I was directed to speak on this, I would be assisted in sharing this information and maybe win by helping you transform in your way of thought, right? Maybe you believe things one way. Maybe today you might see it another way. Or maybe you wasn't even aware of something, and today it's being brought to your attention. But because of the fact that I've recently dealt with discrimination, by a certain people, this was a collective agenda. And I'm hesitating to say what island because I have so many people I love from there, and that are not only friends but family, you know, in my life, that I know whatever comes tomorrow, I can count on, right? So I really don't think it's fair to label that entire island in that type of testimony, However, the truth is what sets us free. And what I'm sharing respectively, even though I know that those that I love with that background are definitely not in that energy. The energy of discrimination. I've experienced this because we crossed paths because there was a lesson I was supposed to learn. And there was a lesson they were supposed to learn. And in learning that lesson, discrimination came about. And it has a lot to do with my background. Although I'm an American citizen, I am a very proud descendant of Haitian parents. I made the mistake because I have to share where I am mentally. Tomorrow, I may utilize a different term, but presently that's how I feel. I made the mistake in connecting with an individual born and raised on the island of Jamaica. Never did I think this is where you will know, you will learn, and you will experience what discrimination is. That never crossed my mind. I honestly felt there were more similarities than differences. And this is due to the familiarities that I already experienced, like those that I attended school with. Elementary, middle, high school, college, career, neighbors, best friends. Although I can share much more about my experiences, I'm being led to share what I uncovered online that I feel is appropriate as far as background is concerned, and an opportunity for us to either be introduced to or gain some knowledge of history. The Haitian Revolution saw Black people break the chains of their enslavement, overthrow the racist French government, and become the government themselves, abolishing the practice forever. Before this, the Caribbean island was the most profitable slave colony in the world and a source of horrific racism. Enslavers dealt out disgusting abuses, torturing slaves often for no reason at all. On August 21st, 1791, The day before the revolution began, a voodoo ceremony was held by Dutty Bookman. Dutty Bookman was a hooligan. The title for a male voodoo priest. He was originally enslaved in Jamaica, but was caught plotting an uprising on the island and was sold to the plantation owner in Santo Domingo. Now, there's a lot more to the story, but the reason why I feel that I benefited from doing this research is because we always think we know. You know, it's not the first time I came across anything or literature, rather, that had to do with the Haitian Revolution and so forth. But what I learned from that sighting from the internet is I was not aware that he was born in Senegambia, West Africa. I was always under the assumption that he was born in Jamaica. But doing that research, I uncovered that he was enslaved to Jamaica. But his birthplace was Senegambia, West Africa. He did die in Haiti, though, on November 7th, 1791. All this to say that he offered his assistance by teaching different spiritual practices that he was made aware of, and that would assist in the uprising and gain their freedom. All right? So, why that story means something to me is division. Division is the problem. Because they united, the Haitians accepted him. They gained knowledge from him. And he assisted them in manifesting their dreams. Sometimes the answer comes from an individual from a different walk, a different country, a different nationality, a different race. It could even be a different gender. In this season, we are witnessing gender wars where adults are on team female or on team male, and those in between. When all we have to do is be ourselves and accept others as they are. There are many lessons that can be learned through his interaction with the Haitians in that season. Again, they didn't have to welcome him. They didn't have to listen to him. They could have belittled him. What do you know? You don't even know about Haiti. Where are you coming from? Why would we elect you? What makes you think we want to work with you? You are not our kind. So you need to just sit back and we'll contact you if we need you. See, that approach was an option. But the Haitians were wise. They were also open-minded. And they were willing to put their heads together with the focus of the goal until what? They arrived at the goal. How can this story in history influence our interaction with others today? What lessons did our ancestors learn that we didn't have to repeat today? What cycles were reopened unnecessarily? It's sad. It's really sad. But it's reality. And you have to accept people from where they are. And everyone deserves their freedom, their free will. And so sometimes you want to help, but they were not open to it in that season. And so when this occurs, you are placed in another location where you are needed, wanted, and you move forward. achieving even greater things. Those of us that are leaders or play different roles in our community have learned the lesson of flexibility. We all know things may have gone this way, but in order to maintain forward movement, sometimes there is a demand for flexibility. The goal is what we need to focus on. Not favoritism, not familiarity. Not the practices of discrimination or the practices of racism or the practices of classism. We could go on. There's so much information about this available to you. But it doesn't make a difference until you decide, okay, it's true what they say. If you don't know your history, you're liable to repeat it. Maybe I should open a book. Maybe I should open a dictionary and introduce myself to the term ignorance, what it means, and disassociate myself from it. The lack of knowledge, ignorance. When you are informed, you are not in the energy of ignorance. When you are just following the crowd, not needing to learn both sides, inspired by drama, wanting to repeat old cycles, that keeps you stagnant in that energy. For the sake of your ancestors, begin to awaken yourself to the knowledge of our roots. They didn't pave the way for you to be left back. They want more for you. And although some of you are afraid of change, sometimes change is in demand because life is change. What does not change dies. You see, growth is change. If you do not grow, you die. That can be a plant, a person, a people, knowledge can be gained by human relations, by animal interaction, by the study and the patterns of nature. But you're required to be grounded. You're required to be open. Understanding you don't know everything. Respecting there is a God. There was a God in the revolution as well. And there is a God present day. And there will always be God. You have forgotten the Supreme. You have rejected him and decided to take his throne. Well, I have enough knowledge so I can categorize myself as such. Until you fall on your face. Until a turn of events have to occur and a group of people is awakened to the fact that, wow, there has to be a God. There's no other explanation. That God knows how to do miracles. How in the world? I would have never predicted this. It was all of us. Knowledgeable. Experienced. Connected. How can we have such a great fall? You see, sometimes God wants to help you. Pay attention, y'all. All right? Because this is where you overlooked. This is what you overlooked. Sometimes God wants to help you. Right? He sees your misery. He sees the repeat of tragedy, of poverty. And he wants to intervene with mercy. So he approaches you with grace for your journey. You disapprove. Grace didn't make the cut for you. You push grace away. Get out of here. I can do this. I'm more qualified than you. What do you know? Sometimes grace comes with a message. Sometimes knowledge is what opens the door to grace. This is why we must remain open. This is not stating that everyone that crosses your path and everything they say, you have to agree and do it that way. This is stating communication is a tool meant to assist us in the energy of understanding. So before we make our assumptions, before we determine our outcomes, before we give credit or retract credit where it's due, learn the art of communication. Listen, talk. Listen, talk. In that pattern. Listen, talk with no judgment. With facts, nothing but facts. Opinions are history. Logical exchange. With the goal of problem solving. I hope that these words will give you some direction when it comes to meditation. Process it. Take what you want and leave the rest. I'm being told to tell some of you that you need to make up with God. Those of you that cursed God. Those are you that are cursing God. This is the time to make up with God. And it is very time sensitive. Part of maturity is accepting when you made a wrong turn and accepting the consequence. Sometimes you have to accept, I was in that energy So that's the energy I'm having to deal with. And those of you that are thinking to yourself right now, well, if communication is the tool, then why not communicate? Why the blockages? Why the walls? And I could answer that for you too. God said, detach from people, places, and things that are no longer in alignment with your highest good. When God takes you out of a land of misery, crosses the waters with you, and brings you to a land of grace, with the instruction, leave tomorrow, leave yesterday behind. Now, as I was trying to get that out, I said leave, and I almost said tomorrow. And what I'm channeling for that is leave tomorrow to God. You might not know what's ahead. Some of you are just going forward because God told you to go forward. You're trusting because God said, you can trust me. You're happy because you know God loves me. God loves that innocence and that faith and rewards it every day. Don't look back. Once God said it, it's law. If He takes you out of this connection and He puts you in another connection, it's because you are worthy of the other connection. It's because the past connection was not worthy of you. And because God had a future view of what would happen to you, He said, no, my child, come over here. And you had the choice. You had the choice to say, no, God, I'm just going to stay here because that's what I know. And, you know, things will get better eventually. And we'll just grow on each other. And that was an opportunity to make that choice. Or you could say, let me tell you something, God. I don't know why, but I know you're saying it. I also know that I have been dissatisfied Anything has to be better than this. Like some of you were in that energy. Like, come on now. You wake up unhappy. You go through your days unhappy and you go to sleep unhappy. Come on, come on, come on. It doesn't have to be that way. Sometimes it's time to say goodbye. It's okay, goodbye. Follow the instructions of God. Do not listen to a speaker that tells you, let go. Leave yesterday behind. Such and such. If God didn't tell you that originally. And the speaker is not just confirming what God already told you. I want to make that clear to you. All right? Because a lot of you have experienced mind manipulation and you've adapted to that way of that pattern of life, rather. You're being reminded that you have a brain and it's okay to use it. Don't allow others to say that your questions are not valid. Learn your human rights. Some of you don't even know your human rights. Yes, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, but in having this human experience, what are your human rights? Have you ever read about it? Have you ever researched it? Because if you were informed about it, I guarantee you, you would think twice before you took the rights of others. Could you be ignorant in that subject area? Yeah, those of you that are all knowing, right? Quote unquote. Could you be ignorant in that subject area? And the last point I'd like to make in this portion of the reading is, of the episode rather, is as gifted as you claim to be, crème de la crème, that nobody could even debate with anything that you said was true. Why is it that in all your knowledge of the future, you didn't see today? You didn't see you would fall on your face. You didn't see I would regret the day. You ever gave that some thought? You might want to. Because that's telling me, again, there is a God. And he does give justice. And if anybody can override anything, it is God. It's not you. You want it to be you, but it's not you. Oh, well, I've been doing this a long time. Do you know how many people I've killed? I am the death mistress. Well, you can't win them all. And that's why you had to fall. Even though you thought you was tall. God gave Grace a call. And she tells it all. All the secrets, all the masks being worn, she tells it all. Now for the next section, we will begin with the first card. The first card is fertility reversed, which would mean no fertility, lack of fertility. Following that, attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So this is stating that this romantic love that you are attracting, quote unquote, will not go anywhere. All right? It will not develop to anything that is in the energy of commitment, so to speak. Following that, Ejeko, the joy of life is seen through the eyes of innocence. See, sometimes people are different. And because they're different, they're misunderstood. See, they see the glass half full, while you see it half empty. But God made them that way. He made them that way because He knew He would need them to show the way. And they need to be in that positive energy to be aligned with what God wants to tell you and me. So even though someone is different, confirmation, someone may appear boring in your book, someone may not like your lifestyle, they don't speak on it, they just don't participate in it, right? That does not mean that they should be a subject for mockery. They're in their lane. And we should all remain in our lane. Accept people as they are. Either they're for you or they're not for you. And if they're not for you, you already know what to do. And if they are for you, you need to be active in giving and receiving, because that's an act of wisdom. And when reciprocity is not part of the equation, that gives an opportunity for a lesson. Confirmation. Next card is Ace of Wands, inspiration. New beginnings. Starting something. Finding new passion. Potential. Growth. Following that. Mamlambo. Self-sabotage. You know what self-sabotage would be? Let me help you. Self-sabotage would be disregarding the guidance that we just received, suggesting that there would be no fertility, right? And belittling, rejecting, or misunderstanding the joy of life is seen through the eyes of the innocents, right? Because some of you were raised, were programmed to be devious. You are taught that is the way of the world. That is how you win. That's how you climb the ladder. You were programmed since a child. And then you encounter someone in this energy with eyes of innocence. You reject them because you determine they have to be a loser because this is the way of doing things. This is how you move forward in life. Right? Heka, alchemical force. Since the card self-sabotage came before this card, alchemical force, leading me to believe that magic, black magic, had entered the equation. Maulisa, balance. And what I'm getting from that is, although I was accurate in saying magic had entered the equation, Maulisa, the balance card, is explaining That magic came in both extremes. Those of the dark conjured up magic to bring chaos, division, confusion, loss, sickness, and so forth. Now, the high vibrational magic, which we refer to as manifestation, brought balance. When you make your requests, right, and you ask the universe for justice for what you've endured, and so wanted to send you to jail, and you back to sender it. So-and-so wanted you to be blind, and you back to sender it. So-and-so wanted you dead, and you back to sender it. That is not you conjuring up the magic. That is you returning the magic to its owner. That is you declining. No, I'm not interested. I don't want it. And I didn't ask you for it. It's yours. You handle it. That's basically what it means when you back to sender. That is also part of alchemical force. But high vibrational manifestation could be regarded as the affirmations that we say. I am free. I can set boundaries. I love those that love me. I can see myself the way God sees me. And as you repeat that routinely, eventually you believe that. And you experience an upgrade in confidence. A change. A period of growth. A manifestation. That is also alchemical force. Right? Remember, the fruit of the universe is what? Balance. And balance is present is because we have two extremes. That is why balance is present here. So there was one side utilizing their knowledge to dive deeper into low vibration. And then there was another side that decided that freedom is mine. I said freedom is mine. And manifested it. And now live in it. Live in it loving it, embracing it. Financial and material changes. Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action. I'm going to give you a bit of insider information. One of the best ways to be graceful in movement and action is by receiving guidance. The guidance of a wise one. By receiving guidance from someone that's done that, been there. By receiving guidance by someone that is connected to God. Unless you've experienced it, the information you have will be limited. You can have a great portion of information, but once you've experienced it, that's another chapter you haven't read. So even though someone is in the energy, I'm smart. I'm smarter than her. I have this degree and I have that degree. And I'm associated to these people. And I belong to this organization. Was wisdom part of the equation? You know, when I was younger, there was one individual that I was familiar with. Let's just say that. Because I referred to her as an acquaintance. She could have been a friend. But I referred to her as an acquaintance because we were not on that page. That's called friendship. This is someone I saw 7 days a week. Every week. But she belonged to a certain clique. And I was part of I hate to admit it, but I was part of a clique as well. Now, these individuals also shared similar schedules. We all attended school together. We all attended youth group together. We all attended church together. And I remember one time someone making commentary of that acquaintance of mine from another clique and said that she's just book smart. And she made further remarks like, as smart as she is on honor roll and so forth, she does not understand tact. All right? And she has difficulty in social situations. And it was at that point in time I learned, as a teenager, I learned smart does not mean every category of life needs to fit in that column. You could be book smart, but as far as your interaction with people, you may lack the emotional and the social skills. Right? And this is why a lot of people remain confused, because they don't necessarily have to fit in the book smart. I'm just being accurate here. They don't necessarily have to fit under that category of book smart, but it could be I have a privilege in networking ability. I'm associated with those that can accomplish things that are illegal. Now, I tried to find a way to say it, but I mean, that's the only way I could say it. You know, some people know a person they can contact when they need to kill somebody. Like, I wouldn't know anyone in that category. But some people know that person. They also know that hacker. They also know that, I have to say it, y'all. They also know that prostitute. They also know so due to this, they feel as if they're winning because of their knowledge of knowing a branch of people that can accomplish tasks that they set forth. All this to say, we are all smart. I'll give you that. We are all smart in our own way. Someone may not be versed at how to hack a computer, how to kill somebody, how to do a death spell, how to, whatever you want to call it, from that low vibrational extreme. All right? You may not be versed in that, but they're versed in high vibrational understanding. They know how to go within. They know where to find the answers that you've been asking. That you've been avoiding. They know how to connect to God. They know about angels. Different categories, because it's a different extreme. But in their own right, they both can claim that label of being smart. So many characters are coming to mind right now. One of them being Noah. There were many who felt as if that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. So he dealt with some type of discrimination in the area of ageism. And then when we look at Moses, that's a very interesting story. But when he uncovered his roots and he was determined to be authentic and be his self, he was also regarded as less than. There's so many other characters I can bring to your attention. Jesus being one of them. Many people didn't feel that he was well versed enough in their spiritual books. And he was not what they considered proper for that type of position. Whatever it is, many that are called to do something will always encounter a naysayer. You can't do that. Why would God choose you? In fact, who do you think you are? As I'm talking to you, I'm seeing a face of a gentleman that I last saw when I was like, I could have been 7 or 8. But I didn't forget that because there was just so much talk about him. And like everyone felt like he was a miracle and so impressive. Although I don't remember his name, I remember his nationality. He was Puerto Rican. And at the time I was living in Brooklyn. And he attended a prayer gathering that my family frequented as well. And he was sharing his experience with God. He said he was in Puerto Rico and he was asking God for direction. God, I know you want me to be involved in mission, but where do you want me to go? I need direction. And in his head, he was under the assumption that God was going to send him to a Spanish-speaking environment. So when God told him, Haiti, he's like, nah, that must be a mistake. I don't know how to speak French. I don't know how to speak Creole. I don't know nothing about their culture. I don't know people there that I could live with. I don't know. I don't know. So he prayed about it again. God, there was some confusion. I think it may have been some interference. So I'm going to ask you again. Where do you want me to go? Haiti. He began going to different prayer groups and asking for prayer, saying that I'm called to do mission work, but I just feel like there's a hump in the road because I really can't find any direction as to where I'm supposed to go, but I know I'm supposed to go. And apparently, one person from that group who never met him before said, you know where to go. And it was from that time he was able to surrender to the idea of doing mission work in Haiti. But he said, God, I don't really understand you because you're sending me to a country. I don't know Creole. I don't know French. I don't know anything. And you're sending me there. And I'm going there by faith. He got on the plane. Figured when he got there, he'll find a hotel and, do like the tourists do until he gets acquainted with some things. And people, this is why I can't forget this story. He said, when I arrived at the airport, I was so confused and I had so much anxiety because I needed someone to help me with direction and I didn't know how to speak their language. So I prayed about it. And he approached a man and he began to talk to him and say, listen, I don't speak Creole and I don't speak. Do you understand Spanish? Because I don't speak Creole and I don't understand French. And the man was like, you're speaking Creole. Can you believe that? He was not trained in Creole. He was not introduced to the language of French. He wasn't educated in that area. Soon as he touched land, just like that, he knew how to speak the language necessary to accomplish what God sent him there for. God is not predictable. A lot of you say you know God. I know him. I've known him all my life. I was born into this life. But until you study the character, you don't really know an individual. This is why you could frequent a character and say, oh, I know her. You know, she's quiet and she's shy and she's scared of everything. But there's so much to a person, right? What about their other characteristics? What about those characteristics that you never considered at exploring with her or him? People can surprise you. And God loves to surprise us. Yeah, I know you thought you couldn't do it, but there you go. You gotta love God. I remember when he first told me that he would use me to speak for him. I'm still emotional by it because the only way I can explain how emotional I am is to share this experience with you. I had a vision. Wow. I was just about to release some information, and I was guided to stop. You see, sometimes God has a plan, and he informs you of the plan by way of dream, vision, or, communication through whatever avenue. And he informs you, so you know. But he doesn't tell you to tell anybody else. Because some people will use that knowledge in ways that not will sabotage. That's not the word I'm trying to use, because you can't sabotage what God plans. But in attempt to bring confusion in some way. You understand? And that's why you need to pay attention, whether you're a speaker or whether you are one-on-one having a conversation. As you begin to disclose whatever it is that is on your heart, pay attention to your surroundings. Chances are, if you need to hesitate, you'll receive your sign. So I'll express this rather than share. He just brought to my attention he would use me to speak to many people, and I would be on an international platform. And the first emotion was anxiety. Because the number of people, when you're telling me, okay, I'm going to put you on an international platform, and first of all, I was not understanding the concept of international platform. It wasn't until later on I understood it could be regarded as the internet, because that's an international platform. I visualized it as being a stage. But in actuality, the internet was heavily going to be part of my foundation. And this is why when I encountered those that try to shadow ban or, try to do spell work so my voice isn't heard and, I'm not discovered in some way, God discovered me. And that's all I need. The people that need to hear me, God will provide. He will guide them. Right? I do not need to compete and follow the different tactics that I see a lot of people doing to move forward in this domain, right? Although I have plans. But when I put them into action is when you'll be made aware of them. But as I said, the first emotion I had was anxiety, like, wow, you want me to do that? Nothing came to mind. Let's put it this way. Nothing came to mind in the department of, he's going to prepare you to do it. He's going to gift you to do it. He's going to teach you this. You're going to go through this. Like, none of that came to mind because the anxiety was leading the way. It was baby step after baby step that I learned, so what I need to do is follow you. And you will guide me. And brief me. And teach me. What you are expecting of me. So whatever it is that He has called you to do, even if you're experiencing anxiety, trust Him. You could even say, I have anxiety. And I need you to help me to heal that. I need you to give me courage. I need you to give me confidence. Whatever it is that you feel you need on that journey, you request it. I'm going to need this, God. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need that. And it's not just material things. As I said, there may be traits that you need. Knowledge that you need. Although I was very comfortable with the area of spirituality, as I learn more about spirituality, there are a lot of topics or subject areas that are of great interest to me. And I am so open to having opportunities to learn about them as well. Different practices and ways of spiritual practices of different cultures. And different eras. And so forth. So you can always learn more. But what you need to know, day one, He will supply you with it. You'll have all the information you need for day one. But you just have to trust Him that on day two, He'll give you what you need. And on day three, it will continue. And you will see that you're not walking alone. That He's there. He's present. He's making it happen. That's a confirmation. He's there. He's present. He's making it happen. And I want to tell you to be gentle with yourself. Whether you're called into leadership, or a role as a helper, or a spectator, be gentle with yourself. Leave the self-criticism behind. Because you're in the direction of the promised land. Confirmation. And another thing, I've learned when you let negative energy overpower you, whether it is lack of confidence or self-doubt or whatever it is, when you allow that to fester, what ends up happening is it suppresses you. And some people experience some form of paralysis where they can't move forward because it's like an old record and it just plays over and over and over. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do this. You understand what I'm saying? So when you arrive at that broken record, because that's what it is. And that's what it's trying to manifest in you. Brokenness. Remind yourself that if God said it, I can do it. Whether it's an addiction, right? There's a lady, I'm so proud of her. I don't want to name drop, so I'm not going to mention her name. But I'm so proud of her. She's in the entertainment business. And she used to have a very bad reputation. Very, very, like, she would be the butt of all jokes, right? Soon as she got over her addiction, it's a brand new world. She's very successful. What we Westerners call an A+ star. And I foresee her staying in that energy. I don't see her regressing. So just by watching her and her ability to give up her addiction and be free and not allow the whispers. Can you believe that's the same person? Remember when she did this? Remember when she was with him and remember when she took this and this and this with that person? Look at her now. There will always be those that want to come and bring division. Because they see opportunity. So they want to tell you, you can't do it. You can't do it because. And a lot of times they're saying because they've shared that experience. And they recognize how they allowed it to limit them. And so they've made the assumption that you're going to fall in that same category. I allowed abuse to limit me, so that's what is meant for you. Abuse disabled me, so that's what I want for you. Yes, some people want to share misery. Why should you be able to overcome domestic violence, alcoholism, or whatever addiction it is? Let me tell you one last thing in Well, one last thing related to addiction. If you really want to beat addiction, you have to be willing to tell your story. I'm going to say it again. If you want to beat addiction, you have to be willing to share your story. Until you could share your story in its truth, the times you went up, the times you hit rock bottom, the times when you had no control of things in your childhood, the time you had self-esteem issues, the time you experienced hope, the time you look back and say, I did that. I did that. I've experienced a lot from these past couple of years. Mainly in the area of persecution and defamation of character and theft. But today, I can say I overcame gang stalking, defamation of character, abuse, doubt, criticism, rejection, I did that. And God lifted me. And assigned me with others that accept me. That I share a bond with. Union and power. So as hard as life gets, and difficult as life gets, and questionable as life gets, know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And in that light, you will uncover a book of knowledge, experience, and wisdom. King of Wands. God the merciful judge. Eloquence. Gives answers to those in doubt. Time out. Awareness, contemplation, solitude, see, sometimes after you come across with information that were once hidden secrets, in that awareness, you need to take time for contemplation. And that requires for you to be comfortable enough to be alone. That's how it goes. Temperance, patience, in that time out, as you review life's lessons, you have to be in a spirit of patience. Strength. Unstoppable. You see, while you're in that time out, while you're learning patience, God is building you. He's forming you. He's strengthening you. And so although you may feel, but I already got the lesson, God, I don't need another year and another year and another year. I got the lesson. Never try to outsmart the master. God knows why. And it's usually associated with, or associated to, rather, divine timing. People, there were times I said, God, I know you can do it. I know you can do anything you want to do. It's nothing but a thing. So why? You know I'm deserving of this. You know I earned it. You know the prophecy you gave me. And again, temperance, patience. Sometimes you feel like you are enduring a season that appears to be dragging. Why does it have to take so long? Sometimes it's to make everything right. When that time comes, everything will be right. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, be patient, it's easy. I'm not. People, it was not a ball game. There were times I was angry. Can I tell you the truth? I had questions. I wanted answers. I'm doing everything you tell me to do. Patience. I almost laughed. Temperance. In fact, you know, when you say, God, I need you to do this, you already know. Patience. Temperance. But until you are comfortable, you're going to stay in that cycle. And I could say it with a smile on my face because I know what's at the end of the race. Do you know it was worth it? Do you know every second, every minute, every hour, every day, it was worth it? That is what molded me to be who I am today. It took experience, study, connection, meditation, what we call time. And I say this because that's an earthly term. Time. Those who know, know. There's a lot more to discover, people. A lot more to experience. And a lot more questions that will come about. I can't begin to tell you how many questions I have. And I'm positive Not one of them is the same question that you have, because I'm on my path and you're on your path. But the experiences I have with God today, I can't say it without smiling. It's adventurous. It's amazing. It's worth it. I'm hearing stay in school. So that would suggest that whatever he's trying to teach you, you may be tired of it. I've been there already. I've experienced this already. I'm tired already. But see, you got to go through it. You got to go through it like everyone else before you experienced it already. Cheating is not part of it. Buying your way forward is not part of it. Sacrificing is not part of it. Every avenue that leads you to the assumption that you can cheat your way through will be short-lived. And what really matters you won't have access to. Ancestors. Flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Without getting into too many details, I want to tell you your ancestors can disapprove who you are going into union with or who you are in union with. Confirmation. They can also approve who you are in union with or who you're going to be in union with. And if they feel confident, they'll encourage you to let love in. I know you experienced this. I know you were disappointed there. I know you're tired of this. But this one right here, he's none of that. And depending on your bond, on your relationship, you decide for yourself. Confirmation. And hopefully it's a good decision. There's so many things I want to share, but again, I have to be cleared to share these things. And I believe there will be a time I will be sharing some things in this subject area. However, the time hasn't arrived. But when you flirt, make sure it's with energies that you want to attract. Let me tell you something that makes me laugh. When there's chemistry, sometimes you are communicating with whoever you're having chemistry with. And you're flirting without even being conscious of that's what you're doing. Like, you don't even realize it can be considered as flirting. It's just because the energy is strong. And so I'm laughing because I laughed at myself the other day because I was like, but that's not what was on the agenda. That's not what I was thinking about. And that was a serious topic and subject area. So why was it felt that way and understood that way? They just bring the passionate side of you out, I guess. But this is to say flirting can be very natural. It's not always forced. Some people force it, and that's not attractive at all. At all. Confirmation. That's what I've been taught anyways. We all come from different schools, right? But I always was taught, ways of interaction when it comes to roles that we play. Or roles that we stand in. Because it's not playing if you're being authentic. Those of you, I'm hearing, but I don't know how to flirt. Okay. Those of you that don't know how to flirt, I could help you out. Just be happy. Just be happy. It begins with that. Because energy is contagious. And happiness is something that gives hope and for some people is rare. So you will be, in a sense, uncommon confirmation. But it has to be in truth. If you're faking a smile, there will always be one person that knows you're faking that smile. So just nurture your way to happy. All right? And it will happen naturally. But yeah, sometimes you will be encouraged to flirt on this spiritual journey. Because there's something called union that is encouraged between those that are equally yoked. Next card is Ogunda. Strategy is the path to success. Wow. Strategy is the path to success. So basically, gaining understanding, focusing on a goal, open to leaving your comfort zone, will all assist you with effective strategy, effective planning, in order for you to strategize your way to success. I've heard before, if you want to win, you have to be with the winners. If you're surrounded with people that are not high achievers, and I want to bring more clarity to what I'm saying. There are certain people that have not achieved success on their own. It could be a parent paved the way, right? Or money. Or something, sometimes it's the family you marry into. But when an individual builds a foundation from scratch, and basically puts block after block after block, respecting the effort it took, the strength it took, the time it took, that individual understands success and embodies success. You know, sometimes There are vendors, right, that make statements like these. Well, the reason why I charge this much is because if I didn't charge it this much, then people would not view my merchandise as something worthwhile. You know, that is the mindset that certain vendors are in. So that is why sometimes they overprice certain things. And you all of a sudden say, well, that one right there is $500. So like there are certain things that designers produce that are not even leather. And when I look at the price tag, I'm like, okay. I guess you're paying for the initial, the brand. Representation and reputation is part of the game. But success is the individual that can not only direct, but also be on the field. When I first had my job in management, that is what I was told, that management does not mean that you're just telling people what to do and, you know, people need to listen to you and respect you. And it's not all these things alone. All right. Management is when so-and-so can't make it today. That's what you're doing today. It requires some form of humility. Some form of flexibility. Remember, unity is power. Right? So when you're in management, I can't do that. That's beneath me. And so cannot have this promotion. How can she be promoted to be a director and she used to be an aide? There are people like that you will encounter in that chain of command. And sometimes they look like you. They sound like you. They just don't appreciate you. And the reason why they don't appreciate you, how can they appreciate you if they haven't learned to appreciate themselves? So those of you that are around people that are always putting others down, consider that. Do these people appreciate themselves? So wouldn't it be a tall order for you to expect for them to appreciate others? And so when you are looking for success and trying to be in the vicinity with others that are in that energy or on that wave, you need to consider these traits. You also need to respect their boundaries. They may want to engage in ways that they have to put a halt to, because when they open those doors, as I'm saying this, I'm hearing a quote that an old friend used to say: familiarity takes away respect. I never forgot that. The closer you are, right, the more chances it is for you to be tempted in the area of disrespect. Because I know this person. I know your wrongs. I know your shortcomings. I know what you can do. I know what I'm stronger at. I know. And this is why you should take direction. Right? When someone is in the knowledge of a certain subject area, you need to be able to take direction. Because I remember when I was told, in this type of position, I understand you're a friendly person, blah, blah, blah. However, you can't be friends. If you be friends with these individuals, what ends up happening is they will not respect you. And I came from the school that was like, treat everyone the same. Treat everyone the way you want to be treated. So the fact that she told me that I have to, bring some type of persona that was detached, for lack of a better way of saying it, I didn't embrace that understanding. I didn't embrace it. And so what I ended up doing is, when I saw the people, hi, how are you doing? And we'd have our small talk and we'd laugh a little, and I thought it was pleasant. I enjoyed it. Until it was time for me to survey your job performance. And I come with the questionnaire stating, did she do this effectively? Did she follow this direction? Is she reporting the progress? And so forth and so forth, because I'm basically observing you. And how should I say this without with respecting people's privacy? I'll say, all right, it was a group home, okay? So, routinely, I had to go around and basically observe if the staff was effective when it came to following directions in order to assist the patients. So I would be able to note progress. And sometimes she did 1, 2, and 3, but she didn't do 4, she didn't do 7, she didn't do 11. And then when it's time to have a meeting and everybody gets their reports, and then she notices, I can improve in this area, in that area, in that area. What ends up happening is you catch an attitude. You catch an attitude because that's your friend, right? That's your friend. How dare she do that? How dare she do her job, what she's paid to do? You see? So this is why you need to be open to be understanding before you are in a hurry to judge. A lot of people that are in leadership or have some type of position with the public take certain precautions due to the fact that there are what is regarded as trolls in this point in time. People that are there to disturb you and just make the environment what it doesn't have to be, right? So these types of people end up closing comment areas, right? Because they don't need the shade. They understand when someone is making a comment that is addressed respectively. But they also understand when someone leaves a comment that is sarcastic. And when you are commissioned to do something, that needs to be your focus. Not the person's comment, not their approval, not even the popularity rating. Are you doing what you're called to do? Now, in the event that you can entertain those that can monitor your comments or whatever it is, still with boundaries. With boundaries, you know, in order for you to fulfill what you're being called to do, you have to be open to be flexible in whatever area that you're being guided to. Next card is outpouring. Ace of Cups. New beginnings. New relationships. Celebrations. Socializing. Following that, Nandi, truth. Pata, skill. So there's an outpouring. In new relationships, in celebrations, in socializing, in the energy of truth, right? In association to skill. Athena, wise decision. So even in your strength and skill and your transparency and truth, in these new relationships, include wisdom. Okay? Hope. Sage. Be devoted and committed. Now, in order for you to be devoted and committed, I have to stress that you need to vacation. You just need to there are times, it's balance, okay? There are times you need to be on task. And then there are times where you need to disconnect. You need to implement what you're teaching in your lives. And be unapologetic about that. I used to be harder on myself. Well, I don't want to do this because of this and that and whatever. And I'm like, in order for me to arrive at becoming at being capable of producing my best, I have to get enough rest. I have to afford myself opportunity for inspiration. I have to explore different projects in the area of creation. Queen of Pentacles, the eternal God, intellectual lucidity, provides consolation and compensation. Dreams, vivid dreaming, dream messages, dream teaching, I want to give you a tip. When you decide to rest and go to sleep at night, those of you that do dream, because some of you feel that you don't dream, all right? But those of you that do dream, ask that your dreams would be protected from interference. I'm trying to filter what I could say. But there is so much to learn in that area of dreaming. And so many ways to interfere when it comes to those that want to manipulate you. So when I learned about these activities, what I did was research and find ways to protect myself when I am dreaming. One of the most interesting facts I learned is that sometimes one energy puts a mask on as another energy. And so one of the decisions or petitions you may have is to not allow trickster spirits to bring confusion and to invade your dreams. Once you begin to protect yourself enough, you become more and more empowered. That's what I've noticed. And you can banish people. All right? I'm not going into detail. I need you to do your research for yourself. But you can banish people or energies. Okay? Because if you set a boundary and you say, listen, I don't want communication, and they want to, disregard that boundary. Spiritually, again, there are ways to banish. Effectively. Next card, King of Swords. Sharpness in mind. Logical. Following that is joy, peace, winning. You see, when you allow your mind to take its place and not be at the mercy of solely your feelings or familiarity. You make wiser choices. You use logic. And what is gained is success, peace, winning. Because logic can be used when you block someone or you banish somebody and they persist. Or we will talk again. You cannot end our relationship. I have to agree on that. Know that. Once you said it is so, it is so. Do not allow threats or projection or interference to sway you from your original decision. Because if you've made that decision, there's a reason why that decision was made. Respect that decision. Trust God and let Him lead the way.